Stadium vloggers, matchday vloggers, whatever you want to call them. Some people love them and some people hate them.
Stick it off! Guys, calm down. It's just football. It's football.
But they've kind of become the football version of coronavirus. Hear me out on this one, guys. So you've planned a nice exciting day out at the football. It's all gone really well so far. You've had your pre-match bratwurst, a couple of pints, and then comes along this twat with the camera. Mr. Corona has ruined the day with his bloody vlogging. Hang on a minute. Yes, I'm including myself in this one. Ladies and gents, as a matchday vlogger, originally in England, now of course in Germany. Ladies and gents, no, I've not time travelled back to the 1980s. I'm here in Munster with a beer. I'm here standing on the terraces behind a cage. But as someone with experience, I fully understand those who are very much pro matchday vlogging and those who don't care for it, those who are not big fans of vloggers. So as someone who's self-aware, I'd consider myself, and someone who's not a narcissist, as many of these vloggers can be, I thought it would be interesting to share my own experiences and some of the problems with these matchday vloggers. So one criticism I've heard, and it's a valid one, and that's that vloggers take away a matchday ticket from a true fan. Now, I'm sorry Thogden, we're going to use you as an example again because everyone knows who you are. But if we look at this footage from the El Clasico, from the Real Madrid versus Barcelona game, he's acting here like he was born in Madrid, like he's been a Real fan all of his life. And I guess that leads us on to our next criticism of vloggers, and that's a lot of their reactions can be fake, disingenuous, I think that's the word, and done for the sake of the video. Now, again, if I'm comparing that to my own journey as a football fan and as a vlogger, I guess that's partly why I stopped making football videos or matchday videos at stadiums here in England. I'm not going to turn this into another criticism of the Premier League, but you know, I fell out of love with top flight English football, with the Premier League, and I felt like at some games I was really having to psych myself up, and I do not still want to become one of those guys who fake their reactions and purely do stuff for the video. I can honestly say, guys, when I make my videos I wear my heart on my sleeve, and all my reactions and everything we do is genuine. A lot of the time beer fueled, I must admit that. If I'd have continued to fake it, if I'd have played the game, continued to make Premier League matchday videos, I'm sure I would have grown this YouTube channel a lot quicker. But again, I make videos I'm passionate about, and most of my matchday vlogs these days come at the club I follow personally, VfL Bochum. And no, I can't be accused of making videos at this club for the views, because I'll be honest, my views tanked when I started to make videos at Bochum. We're a small club, a passionate club, a genuine club with fantastic fans, but you don't vlog at this club for the views. It has to come from the heart. So I do go to other clubs, but they're clubs I have a genuine interest in. We went to Stuttgart recently. I love exploring new stadiums. It's a passion of mine. I'm passionate about my own club, and I'm passionate about exploring new stadiums, new clubs, new grounds, and making videos, sharing those genuine reactions and that genuine passion. So recently I did witness a situation at a game whereby a matchday vlogger had an altercation, a polite way of saying a bit of a Barney Rubble, an argument with a couple of people around him, or them, might have not been him. Anyway, this argument did not stem from the fact that he was vlogging, it was completely different, but of course I did listen in, I'll be honest, a little bit nosy on some of the arguments back and forth, and some did involve him being a vlogger. So although it wasn't a problem, he clearly wasn't liked for his vlogging. So that got me thinking, again, I've always been aware of, or somewhat uncomfortable, should I say, sometimes whilst making matchday videos. You might have seen recently, I do get incredibly drunk when I make matchday videos. It's not just getting carried away in the moment. I do find sometimes when I do make videos at games, I am somewhat self-conscious. I am naturally, albeit maybe I seem confident on camera, I am a considerate guy, and I do get quite anxious when I get the camera out in public spaces. Believe it or not, that is true. So of course, a beer or 2 or 10 does ease that anxiety or that slightly awkward feeling. Now, as someone who built their channel on videos mostly from non-match days, most of my content in England was about football clubs, their history, normally whilst on a stadium tour. And on a non-match day, as I said, I didn't do many match day vlogs until recently. And I kind of accidentally became a matchday vlogger, of course, with VfL Bochum in Germany and other German games. Now, the reason I'm making this video is, again, because one, I want to talk about how, or the perspective of someone who makes videos, some of the awkwardness that can surround that, and also the feeling it might give other people around who have come for a nice quiet matchday experience, and then they unfortunately have to be stuck next to a vlogger who's talking away, and of course drawing attention to himself, distracting away from the game in front of them. Because I'm sure it's interesting to you guys from someone on this side of it. How do we really feel about it? It's not all doom and gloom though, guys. YouTube has become the go-to place to consume content, more so than actual television these days. It's not uncommon for some vlogs to get more views than the official match highlights. I think this is because for many, they can't get to the games in person, so they want more of an inside perspective to try and feel what it's like to be inside that stadium for that game. Okay, so one person does miss out on a ticket, but I've got to say that when a video is done right, it gives the opportunity to thousands of other people in a similar situation. It gives them the chance to feel part of the day, to get to experience some of that matchday atmosphere. If your team is going through a tough time like ours at the moment, and you're feeling a certain way about the team, about the players and so on, you get to see the reactions of other fans at the game. You get to hear their perspective. It makes you feel part of the community. We know getting to games logistically is very expensive as well. We know that people find it hard to get tickets. So at least when a vlogger does come along, it does give a slight opportunity for those who can't make the game to experience it differently than from what they see on TV, from a fan's perspective. So again, I think that's a positive thing. I mean, technically speaking, guys, there is a bit of a grey area with regards to filming inside the stadium, and that comes down to, it's not even really a grey area. It's illegal to film the actual match, technically. It's not really a grey area. We know copyright is a thing, and we know that these TV companies spend millions of pounds, millions of euros. They spend big bucks for the TV rights to these games. Now, I call it a grey area because, of course, if I take my own experience, for example, I worked with the Bundesliga last year on a show called Bundesliga Weekly here in England. They made a little piece about me whilst filming me filming my vlogs. So if ever there was any doubt on whether the Bundesliga were okay with me making matchday videos, I think that was confirmation that they actually filmed me making matchday videos in the stands. You can see the footage on screen right now because, of course, these leagues, especially the ones other than the Premier League, they want the exposure. The Premier League has the monopoly, I guess, with regards to money, if you exclude Saudi Arabia, in Europe anyway. And I guess that does come on to my next point as well. I guess stadium vlogging, matchday vlogging, is a lot more positive, or is a lot more helpful to the smaller clubs, the smaller leagues. These small clubs who don't get a lot of attention from mainstream media, they love the fact that vloggers come there, make videos on these lower league clubs. It gives them exposure. Yeah, and it's very much a more positive feeling, I think, when you make videos at lower league football. Again, no smoke and mirrors on Rise Football Paradise. There we go. You don't have that privilege in the stadium, do you? Of course, a lot of vloggers do come under criticism, especially in Germany or mainland Europe. There's an unspoken rule that you don't vlog in ultras blocks, of course, the hardcore fan sections. And that is part of the criticism with Premier League clubs. You'd have the Stretford end, the Kop, the Holt end, Aston Villa, etc. You'd have those hardcore ends, or those ends which were the hardcore ends, the English equivalent, I guess, of the ultras ends. Now, some of the criticism has come with the fact that tourists and people who like to take photos, make vlogs, etc., do so from those ends. So it's really ironic that I'm very much for the ultras culture, and I've never kind of stepped foot in the ultras end, but of course I do go to away games at Bochum, and you naturally are a little bit closer to the ultras than you choose to be during a home game. Now again, as I said, I've never really had any direct unpleasant experiences, or no one who's kind of voiced any dissatisfaction with what I do personally, but I'm also not, as I said, deluded enough to know when I come to cut videos. It's a horrible feeling when you come to cut the videos and there's someone behind you who just looks a bit awkward or a little bit uncomfortable with themselves being on camera. And again, when it comes to visiting clubs as a tourist or experiencing different fan cultures at places you're probably only going to go once or twice, you maybe don't kind of act as considerate, should I say. I know it's a little bit rude, but if you're only going to go there the one time or very infrequently, maybe you're less inclined to actually consider those around you. I'd like to say I consider everyone at all times, but of course I have felt a little bit sometimes at Borkum this year that, although again it's partly probably down to the negativity of the way we're playing, the fact that we lose week in and week out, but also the fact that it is a hardcore fan base that goes to these games, that travels across the country to watch these away games. I would say that the away crowd seem to be less responsive to vloggers. Like if I go to the Stadion, the home ground of the club I follow, you're always being asked, people are asked to take pictures with you and stuff, and it's very much an upbeat, pleasant, more I'd say the sort of people you're around are a little bit more receptive to being on camera than the away crowd. So I mean, going forward on my own channel, I have kind of contemplated whether I want to kind of solely do match vlogs for this reason. Again, it wasn't something I intended to do. I want to do a little bit more stadium tours, talking about the history of clubs and grounds, and making videos on non-match days as well. So although I'm not giving up personally stadium vlogging, I just felt like it was something that needed to be addressed after seeing a vlogger. I made notes, by the way, after seeing a vlogger recently come under a little bit of criticism. Now, we all know the big usual culprits. I've mentioned Thogden at the start of the video. Obviously, these big guys come under criticism for the fact that a lot of the time they try to make it all about them and not about the game. And that's very much what I'm not about. I'm about being there and experiencing the atmosphere in person, fully immersing myself in that atmosphere, and should never make the people around you feel uncomfortable. Again, I've put on my notes, although legally you can film in public spaces, or you can here in the UK, you see some people that intentionally film around people to get a reaction out of them. And I mean, that's not cool, is it? We're not trying to bait people. It might be entertaining to see someone shouting and getting angry next to you, but it's also, they might have had a couple of drinks, they might work in a professional job, it's their release from the week of working. The last thing they want is to be filmed getting all angry, voicing their opinions or their dissatisfaction at the team. Some of the criticism this person came under was the fact that they make money from making matchday videos. Now, I thought I would put that into perspective as well, because again, although that wasn't aimed at me, you know the situation whereby I use the YouTube money to fund the travels. Now, never do I make a profit from anything that I've done here. Every single bit of money goes back into the channel. And unless you're a big time vlogger like Thogden, like some of these big names, which is their job essentially, it's got to pay their bills, it's got to be their money to live on. For me, I'm a driving instructor, and all my videos, it just funds a fun hobby. But when it comes to my own content, I mentioned that the fact that I follow a club now away, or every away game, and some home games as well, means I actually genuinely care about all the people I'm around, the community, the fact that I've kind of become somewhat well known for the fact that I'm an English guy that comes to make videos in Germany. It has made me reconsider some of my plans going forward at VfL Bochum. I get drunk to not care, but then when I come to edit the video sober, if I do see anyone that again, they're not angry, they're not kind of shouting at me or anything, but if I sense discomfort, it does make me uncomfortable. Again, I'm not here to become famous on YouTube, but people definitely perceive vloggers as to a certain way, and it's maybe a category I don't necessarily want to be put myself in. I don't actually know the point of this video, I'll be honest with you. I just wanted to talk about my thoughts of stadium vlogging and kind of get your thoughts as well. I feel like we're making videos lately that's really raised questions, and the fact that we always get a lot of comments on the videos, even if the views aren't high, you guys do like to comment, and that's what I enjoy most. I enjoy editing the videos, but I really enjoy reading your comments as well. So even if I've just put a heart, I've read that comment. It's really interesting to know what you guys think on stadium vloggers, because I guess if you watch this channel and you watch similar channels, you're obviously a fan of stadium videos, but I guess you don't, maybe unless you go to games, if you're more of a a casual fan and consume your consume your football on TV or on YouTube, which by the way is cool. I'm not being derogatory by saying that. What I mean is I think there's a bit of a split. Maybe it's a generational thing. Maybe older people don't quite understand stadium vlogging, and the young people who have grown up with social media, maybe they're more receptive of it. That's not always the case, because a lot of the people that come up to me and say they watch the videos are older. Again, maybe I'm older and I'm more relatable than some of the young lads. But again, I'm 36 years old. Maybe if you're 21 or younger, making videos is maybe less awkward because you've grown up in that generation, maybe. Who knows? But yes, I did say on Instagram that I am going to be tweaking the content a little bit. Now, after the winter break, I am contemplating only coming to Germany once a month rather than at the moment we're doing 2+ times a month, but we're only going for like one night at the moment, so I'm thinking of coming once a month and coming for at least 2 nights, 3 days or whatever, and trying to really experience more of a variety of clubs, different fan cultures, because although I'm a Bochum fan, and as honestly has nothing to do with the fact that we've started to lose, I do feel like I don't want to become a burden on the club, even though no one said that. I'm very conscious of the fan culture. I know what I want to say, but I'm really struggling to say it. So I hope you guys can be my voice in the comments below. And if none of this makes sense, that's that's fine, because I'm struggling to make sense of it as well. I've made notes. Ladies and gents, what do you think of Stadion Vloggers? It's pretty cringy, we're uncool, but I hope you get my humour and the fact that you know I visit clubs with good intentions and I thoroughly enjoy experiencing different fan cultures and being part of the community. Ladies and gents, cheers, Dankeschön, auf Wieder, bloody Zane.